Hi and welcome to my channel. I'm Emily and I run the Organised Mum Lifestyle. I work full time, my husband works full time, the kids are in full time daycare, but we are organised so that we can go on trips and adventures, and I'll share with you top tips for doing those things and then share the adventures that we go on. So this week we went to Rotorua. We did a four-night trip away over a long weekend. We're normally really good with travelling, doing breaks, leaving around nap times, because with the kids being so small, we can do that. But this time, we got it all wrong. The kids were fine, they were just grumpy, hungry. I ended up sitting in the back with them to keep them amused, and we got stuck in the long weekend traffic trying to get out of Auckland. If you live in Auckland, you know what I mean. But anyway, we got there at 5 o'clock and it was just getting dark, but we had dinner quite quickly. Setup was no problem because I'd done all the prep before. So dinner was straight on, kids were out playing around, we gave them torches, they were running around, I could see them from the caravan, and we were generally having a good time. So it was really good to get there and get set up and get settled quickly. On this trip, we stayed at the All Seasons campsite in Rotorua. Love this campsite, really nice campsite. I'm going to do a longer video with a full review and I'll link to that one when I've done it. Generally though, really good campsite. It's got dinosaurs, which is really cool, particularly for my 3-year-old, but even my nearly 2-year-old was starting to find them pretty cool as well. Swimming pool is awesome. It's the reason we go. Yep, the dinosaurs are cool, but the swimming pool is awesome. It's a heated swimming pool, so it gives you something to do all year round. Hey, the name's All Seasons, and you get to enjoy the swimming pool. It's safe, it's a good space. It's not the most exciting of pools, but that doesn't bother my kids. They just want to swim, they want to be in a warm environment. We're indoors, great fun. It's also got a really cool indoor play area for the kids, so again, All Seasons, and being Rotorua, it can do that. And on this trip, winter arrived overnight. On Sunday night, the car was reading 22 degrees. It was lovely. 2 degrees overnight. Next morning, woolly hats, jumpers, like we hadn't seen winter before. They had a massive dinosaur bouncy castle, which isn't up during the rain, fair enough. But on our last day when we were packing up, Daddy was packing up the caravan, I could take the kids, and we walked over to the bouncy castle. We were the only ones there at that time because a lot of people had left. There's a little swing set there, there's a volleyball set, and the kids just had a great time on the bouncy castle, climbing up, climbing on things. I could jump on with them to keep them safe with them being so small. And again, the bonus with not having other kids there, just because it happened to be a quiet morning, was that my small kids weren't getting jumped on by the big kids. So on the first day, it rained. It rained a lot. It was actually quite warm, which wasn't too bad, but it did mean we needed to drag out the raincoats, and we were trying to work out what to do with the kids in the rain. We're pretty adapted. We're not too bad. We were with friends this time, so we said, let's go for a walk. We went to a Kuirau Falls, and we had a nice little walk. It was a good distance for the kids. It was probably a 20-minute walk. We went over to the waterfall. Now this waterfall's really awesome because you can watch the rafters go over. Actually, people actually come whitewater rafting over this falls. Then we carried on walking, and we've been here before, but it was quite a few years ago. And we went down some steps, and we knew the steps were there because it has an old hydropower station. And we worked our way down these steps, and then we found a cave. Oh, my kids love any cave. They get the torches out and they explore. And we found this cave that we crawled through, and it was such a cool surprise. I've been there 2 or 3 times before, and I'm still finding stuff. I think the cave must have been closed last time, waterlogged, I don't know, but we found it this time. We looped through, popped out the other side, and it was such a cool cave. We even found wetters, cave wetters, which everybody thought were awesome. Then it cleared up, so we went to the new playground by the lake. We visited about 4 months ago, and they nearly finished this playground, and they made this big, huge area for big kids, which was fine, wasn't great for our kids. We get there this time and it's amazing. There's a small playground for toddlers and say preschoolers, and then there's a massive playground for the big kids. It's awesome for all ages, probably even the adults. It's got slides, it's got little boats, it's got a huge climbing frame, it's got just a safe astroturf bouncy area for the kids to play. I highly recommend, if you're in Rotorua, pop to the lake playground. We ended up going twice in this trip. The next day we did a bit of exploring of Rotorua town, and there's a really nice area called Eat Street which has a good variety of food. We were there about 11 a.m, so it was a bit early. We popped into the Max bar and they were open. They were serving breakfast, but they were also serving lunch. Questionable service. It took a while to get served. I ended up having to go to the bar, but actually the food was fantastic. The kids were really well behaved. It was kid friendly, so I can highly recommend it, and we probably just caught them on a bad day. Maybe, maybe not. So twice in a day we ate out. Now that's not normal for us, I have to say, but it was time we went up the gondola. We dressed up. We have gondola passes, which means that you can go up and down unlimited on the gondola. You get reduced price on the luge as well. So we went up the gondola, we went with some friends, and they do all you can eat, but the food is amazing. It's buffet style. It closed during COVID, so we very much missed it during COVID. So we went for the first time in a few years back in January, and it didn't disappoint. Oh, mouth-watering, amazing. It's not the cheapest. It is now $99 per adult. We are gondola members, so we get a bit of a discount, but it's still $79. So it's not a huge discount, but the kids eat for $6 and Tilly ate for free under the age of 2. Okay, they had a lot of ice cream from the awesome ice cream stand, but we really enjoyed it again. The kids had a great time. The friends we took had a great time. Before we went for the dinner, we also went luging. So we went up a little bit earlier because they said it might be closed in the evening, and we did a few luges. Now Tilly couldn't go because she's under the age of 2. Monty and Chris went, and they had a fantastic time. And they come back on the ski lifts, and he's mature enough to sit still. Tilly probably would, but I'm not going to take the risk on the ski lifts. Whilst I waited at the top with Tilly, we got to go on the diggers. A couple of shops at the top as well. You can browse. There's a jelly bean shop with a really cool jelly bean artwork. So it is something unique, particularly for New Zealand. On our last full day, we went to Kuirau Park. Now this is in the middle of Rotorua, and it is a completely free park. It has steam bubbling out from different corners. It has bubbling mud, which is what Rotorua is famous for. It is completely free. It is in the centre of town. You can walk around. It's been recently renovated. And did I mention the smell of this place? Very difficult to document or to cover. Really cute place though, because you walk around, the kids get to safely see bubbling mud and steaming little areas. And then the newly renovated area has now got a little paddling area, which is using the hot water from the ground, steaming ground, and you can paddle in it, and the kids loved it. On our last night, we got the fire pit out. Now we've got this really cool fire pit that uses gas, so it's safe to be used on a campsite and can be easily turned off. Normally we don't put it on until after the kids have gone to bed because it's not safe, and usually it's not dark until the kids go to bed. This time the kids were doing really well, and we invited them to toast marshmallows, so we were really safe by the fire. They're getting old enough now to understand the fire safety and what's hot, and it was so cute. This was the first time they'd ever toasted marshmallows. Definitely something I'll do again with them because they really enjoyed that just before bedtime as a little treat. So on Tuesday morning we had to leave, and we thought we'd go for another swim. So we went for another swim that morning. It was nice and quiet, and I pretty much had the pool to ourselves. There was one other family that came in, so it was really nice to have that swim, especially knowing we've got a 4-hour drive in the car. Then Daddy could pack down the caravan. I'd done a few bits the night before getting it ready, but the best thing to do is I take the kids away and Daddy packs down the caravan and gets it ready. It was a nice morning, so we went back to the bouncy castle and had a play, went on the swings for a bit, so that meant that Daddy could put the caravan away properly, ready for our 4-hour drive. We drove back. We had a really good stint because the kids slept because we tired them out from swimming and playing on the bouncy castle. So then we stopped at Hampton Downs, which is about an hour south of Auckland. It's a racetrack, and it was a really quiet day. We like it because it's somewhere we can park the caravan that's got enough space. And it's even got a cafe. Not always open, but we got lucky this time and the cafe was open. So we had a bit of lunch, and then we moved the caravan to park next to the racetrack. And people take their cars for race days, and we could stand and watch the cars from our caravan. So we all got back in and we did the last hour trip home. A wonderful trip away, absolutely exhausted. Straight back to work, daycare and our commitments the next day, but we've made some fantastic memories, got some great photos and footage and stuff that we want to share with our friends and family. Thank you for watching all the way to the end. I hope you enjoyed our review of Rotorua. We will definitely be going back again. We tend to go 2 to 3 times a year. It is a 4-hour drive, so we only really go on long weekends. when we've got public or bank holidays, but we'll definitely be going back so we can use our gondola passes. If you've enjoyed this video, please give us a like and subscribe. I've got lots more planned for you of different adventures and different tips for getting organised so you can make the most of life with kids.